Dreams have captivated human imagination for thousands of years. Long before science tried to explain them, ancient cultures believed dreams were messages from the gods, glimpses into the future, or journeys of the soul. Even today, despite all our advances in neuroscience, dreams remain one of the most mysterious aspects of the human mind. Every night, as we sleep, our brains conjure vivid scenes, strange characters, and impossible events. Sometimes these dreams feel joyful, sometimes terrifying, and sometimes just bizarre. But what exactly is happening when we dream? The process begins during a stage of sleep called REM, which stands for rapid eye movement. During REM sleep, our brains become highly active, almost as if we were awake, while our bodies remain still. This is when most dreaming occurs. Scientists believe that during REM, the brain is sorting through memories, emotions, and sensory information, weaving them together into the strange narratives we experience as dreams. But why does the brain do this? One theory is that dreaming helps us process emotions and solve problems. Another suggests that dreams are a kind of mental rehearsal, allowing us to simulate challenges and prepare for real-life situations. There's even evidence that people who dream about a task, like playing a sport or solving a puzzle, often perform better at it the next day. Dreams have always held a powerful place in human culture, and throughout history, people have tried to make sense of them in ways that reflect their beliefs, fears, and hopes. In ancient Mesopotamia, dreams were thought to be direct messages from the gods, and entire tablets were dedicated to interpreting symbols that appeared during sleep. A dream about a river might be seen as a sign of prosperity, while a dream about a storm could be taken as a warning. The Egyptians believed dreams were journeys of the soul, and they even had special dream temples where people slept in hopes of receiving divine guidance. In ancient Greece, philosophers like Aristotle tried to understand dreams scientifically, while others believed dreams could predict the future or reveal hidden truths about a person's life. As time went on, different cultures developed their own dream traditions. In many indigenous societies, dreams were considered a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual one. Some communities believe that ancestors communicated through dreams, offering protection or advice. Others saw dreams as a way to explore alternate realities or gain insight into personal challenges. In medieval Europe, dreams were often viewed with suspicion, sometimes seen as temptations or illusions meant to mislead. Yet even then, people kept dream journals and sought meaning in the strange images that appeared during sleep. What all these interpretations have in common is the belief that dreams matter. They were never dismissed as random or meaningless. Instead, they were treated as important messages, reflections of the inner self, or glimpses into realms beyond ordinary experience. Even today, many people feel that certain dreams carry emotional weight or symbolic significance, especially those that repeat or feel unusually vivid. While modern science approaches dreams from a neurological perspective, the cultural history of dreaming shows just how deeply humans have always been drawn to the mystery of the sleeping mind. Modern science has uncovered far more about dreams than any civilization before us, yet the deeper we look, the more mysterious they seem. When we fall asleep, the brain doesn't simply shut down. Instead, it enters a complex cycle of activity, shifting between different stages that each play a role in how we rest and recover. The most dramatic of these stages is REM sleep, when the brain becomes almost as active as it is during waking life. Electrical signals fire rapidly, memories shuffle around, and emotional centers light up with surprising intensity. This is the stage where most vivid dreaming takes place, and it's also when the body becomes temporarily paralyzed, preventing us from acting out the strange stories unfolding in our minds. Scientists have proposed several theories to explain why dreams happen. One idea is that dreams help the brain process emotions, especially the ones we struggle with during the day. When we dream, the brain can replay difficult experiences in a safe, symbolic way, allowing us to work through fear, stress, or confusion without real-world consequences. Another theory suggests that dreams help strengthen memories. As we sleep, the brain sorts through the events of the day, deciding what to keep and what to discard. Dreams might be the byproduct of this sorting process, like a mental rehearsal that helps solidify important information There's also the possibility that dreams serve as a kind of simulation engine. In this view, the brain uses dreams to test out scenarios, practice problem solving, and prepare for challenges. This might explain why people sometimes wake up with a solution to a problem they couldn't figure out the night before. Even dreams that seem chaotic or nonsensical may have hidden logic, blending fragments of memory, imagination, and emotion into something that feels meaningful even if we can't fully explain it. Despite all these theories, the truth is that dreams remain one of the last great frontiers of neuroscience. We know they matter because people who are deprived of REM sleep often become irritable, unfocused, and emotionally unstable. But we still don't know exactly why the brain invests so much energy into creating these nightly stories. What we do know is that dreaming is a universal human experience, and understanding it brings us closer to understanding the mind itself. Lucid dreaming is one of the most fascinating abilities the human mind can experience because it blurs the line between being asleep and being awake. A lucid dream happens when you become aware that you are dreaming while the dream is still happening. Instead of simply watching the events unfold, you suddenly realize that none of it is real, and that realization can give you an incredible sense of freedom. Some people describe it as stepping into a world where imagination becomes the only limit. Colors seem brighter, sensations feel strangely vivid, and the rules of reality no longer apply unless you decide they should. Scientists believe lucid dreaming occurs when a small part of the brain responsible for self-awareness becomes active during REM sleep. Normally, this part of the brain is quiet while we dream, which is why we accept even the strangest situations without question. But when it switches on, the dreamer gains the ability to reflect, to question, and sometimes to take control. Not everyone experiences lucid dreams naturally, but many people can learn to trigger them through practice. Techniques like reality checking during the day, keeping a dream journal, or waking up briefly before returning to sleep can increase the chances of becoming lucid. Once inside a lucid dream, people often experiment with the impossible. Some choose to fly, explore imaginary landscapes, or revisit memories. Others use lucid dreams to confront fears, rehearse difficult conversations, or simply enjoy the feeling of being fully conscious in a world shaped by their own mind. But even with this control, lucid dreams can be unpredictable. The dream can shift suddenly, or the awareness can fade without warning. It's a delicate balance between intention and the natural flow of the dreaming brain. Lucid dreaming also raises deeper questions about consciousness. If the mind can be aware of itself while the body sleeps, what does that say about the nature of awareness? Are dreams just stories, or are they another form of reality created by the brain? These questions continue to intrigue researchers, and every new study reveals just how complex the dreaming mind truly is. The future of dream research is moving into territory that once sounded like pure science fiction. As technology advances, scientists are beginning to understand the sleeping mind in ways that were impossible just a few decades ago. Brain scanning tools are becoming more precise, allowing researchers to observe patterns of activity that correspond to specific types of dreams. In some experiments, scientists have even been able to predict the general content of a dream, such as whether someone is seeing a face, a place, or an object. While this isn't the same as reading dreams directly, it shows how close we are to decoding the language of the sleeping brain. One of the most exciting possibilities is the idea of influencing dreams. Researchers have already found ways to gently guide dream content using sound cues, light patterns, or subtle vibrations during sleep. These techniques can nudge the brain towards certain themes or emotions, which could one day help people overcome nightmares, practice skills, or explore creative ideas more intentionally. Some scientists imagine a future where people can design dream experiences the way we design virtual worlds, stepping into landscapes shaped by memory, imagination, and technology working together. There is also growing interest in the idea of recording dreams. While we are far from capturing dreams with perfect clarity, early experiments suggest that rough visual reconstructions might eventually be possible. If this technology continues to develop, it could open the door to sharing dreams with others, studying them in detail, or preserving them like memories. Of course, this raises ethical questions about privacy and the boundaries of the mind. Dreams are deeply personal, and any technology that interacts with them must be handled with great care. What's certain is that dreams will continue to fascinate us. They are one of the last realms where the mind is free from the rules of waking life, a place where logic bends, emotions intensify, and imagination takes full control. As science moves forward, we may finally begin to understand why we dream, how dreams shape us, and what they reveal about the deepest parts of ourselves. But even with all the answers we might discover, dreams will likely always retain a sense of mystery, reminding us that the human mind is far more complex and wondrous than we can fully grasp.